Welcome to 5 Good Minutes. You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Galatians with Kurt Bjorklund.
So the end of the book of Galatians, the letter to the Galatians, is chapter 6, verse 11 through 18, which has this idea of boasting again, just kind of in the middle of it, where it talks about boasting in Jesus Christ ultimately. And so our circumcision, it says, whether you're circumcised or not, is nothing, but what matters is that you boast in Jesus Christ. Verse 14, far be it from me to boast, except in the cross of Jesus Christ, by which the world has been crucified to me, and I to the world. And so this gives this idea of saying everyone boasts ultimately in something, going all the way back to chapter 5, verse 26, when it says, let us not become conceited. And conceited there is a word for vainglory. Let us not be vainglorious or full of empty glory, because we all want to find glory in something. So on one side of the ditch here is this desire to find our satisfaction in things of this world. And how you know that you're taking pride in something in this world, boasting in something, is that you have a little bit of pride. Verse 12, it's those who want to make a good showing in the flesh, who would force you to be circumcised. So the pride here was, I feel good because I'm circumcised, and therefore they look down on others. So anytime that you are proud of something and you look down on others, and this shows up in subtle ways. Well, I wasn't raised that way. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm this kind of a person. It shows up in fear. This is at the end of chapter 12, in order that they may not be persecuted for the cross of Christ. Often we're afraid, maybe not of being persecuted for the cross, but we're afraid of what others think. That's how that shows up today. It's a fear. And then sometimes it shows up in pretending. Verse 13, for even those who are circumcised do not themselves keep the law, but they desire to have you circumcised so that they may boast in your flesh. This is the way that some people live, because they say, I'm going to pretend that I have it all together. And so you're boasting in whether it be your religious standing, your looks, your power, your kids, your money, your morality, your mission, your doctrine, whatever it is. That's one of these temptations. Now, on the other side, you would think that means, well, just don't boast in anything. Try not to boast. Try to live without a boast. But because we are glory-starved individuals, we are hungry to have glory. And so the answer isn't ultimately to stop boasting, the other ditch, just to say I won't boast at all, but it's to say I'm going to boast in Jesus Christ alone. And this is where you get this little phrase, verse 14. It says, but far be it from me to boast except in the cross of Jesus Christ, by which the world has been crucified to me and I to the world. And one translation says, remember, basically. Charles Spurgeon says this about it. He says, the glory of the gospel is that God has declared Christians to be rightly related to him in spite of their sin. But our greatest temptation is to smuggle character into the work of grace. So boasting is boasting in Jesus, and that's worship. It leads to worship, to celebrate what you've been given. And what that allows you to do with a gospel-healed kind of place is to say, I can enjoy the good things that I have in my life, and I don't need to boast in them because I don't need from them anything. So the gospel-healed approach is saying, I can enjoy and love having good things, job, career, resources, power, family, happy relationships, great vacations, whatever it is. Even your morality can be a good thing, but it's not ultimate because you have a boast in the cross of Christ, and that is that Jesus has declared something over you that is more substantial than anything that you can borrow from the things of this world. And that is when you start to say, I have a gospel-healed way of living in my life, rather than a boasting in stuff or trying not to boast at all.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.